Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the World Ninja League Premier Series Season 3 qualifier, our final qualifier at True Function Ninja Training Ground in Swindon in the United Kingdom, courtesy of our course designer, Dion Trigg, an absolute pioneer in the ninja scene around the world, and particularly in the UK. My name is Billy Dixon, joined alongside Jamie Dayhuff for the final qualifier of the Premier Series in 2025. Jamie, final qualifier, Swindon, UK, True Function Ninja Training Ground, one of my favorite gyms in the whole world. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling really good, but I'm also feeling a little sad. You know, this is the beginning of the end. We started this just at the end of July, and now here we are, first day of November, day after Halloween, and I know a lot of kids probably had some candy, but now they're going to have to do the obstacle course. So, there's going to be 2 days jam-packed of events right here.
Indeed, so we're going to be starting out with both the kids and the mature kids division here in this first live stream of the weekend. But as it is a Premier Series competition, we are going to have a look at the rules and how our athletes got here. So let's have a look at what all these guys are going to be faced with. So we have taken the top 25% of all athletes from both the World Championships and their season standings, and they have gotten the invitation to the Premier Series. This goes for a couple of international athletes as well who might not have gone, particularly those in the UK for this weekend topically throughout their seasonal standings. If they got into the top 25%, they have qualified for the finals, not the finals even, but for the Premier Series. And we are happy to have them all here for this weekend, which is lovely to see. The format is as follows. The placement course is going to be first, where if you fall or run out of time, your run is over. Simple as that. Then challenge course is going to come right afterward, where every athlete has 2 retries available. You can only utilize a retry once on an obstacle. So if you take on one obstacle on the challenge course and you fail it, you can then go back to the start of that obstacle and try it again. If you clear it on your second attempt, you can go across through the course as well. You only have to do that twice. 2 opportunities. 2 more things. The formats of both these courses are here. So the placement course is going to have the seeding ability for the challenge course. If you get first on the placement course, you're going last on the challenge to see more people run. You've earned the right. And on the challenge course, it is going to be determining who qualifies for our Premier Series finals on November 22nd and 23rd at Motus Ninjas in Lee Summit, Missouri in the USA. So the top 4 athletes in every division, from kids all the way up to elites for the males and the females, the top 4 in every one of those has the opportunity to go to the Motus Finals for 2025 Premier Series. We had their qualifier a couple months back, and we're excited to see what they've got in store for us when we get over there in only 3 weeks, Jamie.
Yeah, it's come up so quickly. I already said this with the qualifiers, but the fact that we are now at the last qualifier, like, it feels like we were just in Australia for the first qualifier. This has been such a fun season, and I'm honestly not ready for it to be almost over.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of those things where we come through to it and we really don't understand how valuable it is until it starts to go. But what better way to end off our qualifiers than with True Function Ninja Training Ground? This is only one of 3 gyms who have been here in the Premier Series since the beginning of its inception. We've had Life Force for 3 years in a row. We have also had Motus for 3 years in a row, which is where the finals are going to be. And we've had True Function since the start as well. And all of these guys have been really putting in the grind, particularly the kids. Dion loves pushing the kids who go out to True Function every week to try their best to move on through, particularly in courses here that we're going to be seeing. The placement courses obstacle list is right here on your screen. We have got 7 that we are going to be looking through here. We have got a time limit of 1 minute 45 for the females and 1 minute 40 for the males here. We're going to be having a look at how things are going to go out here. I'm also going to be competing tomorrow in the amateur division, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out on what all of these obstacles are going to be. So let's have a look. We've got Mr. Dion Trigg out here. He's going to be coming along through. We've got some hop on and over. We saw these little red fluffy clouds out here in the demo of, not the demo, but the VT before everything. We also have step and swing. Oh my goodness me. We have some balance here, guys. That is going to be quite the obstacle right there. A lot of force going into that is going to be needed. The toadstool tread is going to be afterward. Bit of balance right here. Nothing new. And then we move on through to a couple of rings here, and then the fidget spinners. We've got fidget spinners in now. These are a new obstacle that Dion has made strictly for this competition. He builds all of these obstacles himself as well. We also have close the door, so some little door jumps out here. A lot of kids on the sideline inspecting everything. And then the fly to victory coming through here. Our final obstacle. We can come on here, take a couple back swings. Oh, it looks like a boot scoot here. Jamie, we're keeping the theme of having boot scoots in our courses here on the placement course, all the way to the Ninja Works buzzer.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing there. This course was very, very versatile. The kids definitely seem a little bit intimidated, but I think they're going to be A-okay because, you know, it's their first time seeing the course be attempted. They might have had some time to look over the rules, but they know that it's possible. We just saw someone clear all 7 obstacles in succession. It's just going to be up to them to fully be able to execute.
Absolutely. It's going to be one of those days where we can all leave out our skills on the course out here for our kids and our mature kids that are going to be running this placement course out here. Again, a minute 45 for the females and a minute 40 for the males as well. And I'm very hyped to see how things are going to go. We have got 15 athletes out here. I believe we have Arlo out here in the kids male division going first. He might have to go first due to time constraints. That happens quite a bit for these True Function competitions. But regardless, we're going to be having a lot of these guys coming along through and showing us what they are all about. Not only do we have the Brits in here, obviously, but we also have a couple of French athletes out here. We have Timothée Verguet coming out here from France. I believe he already competed in the Warrior Adventure competition we had in Lyon back a couple of months back in September earlier, but he always comes through for the True Function competitions. We love to see it. In terms of French athletes in the mature kid female division, we have also got Alison Girardot out here. Jamie has her money on her to move on through with Alison as our first place finisher for the mature kid females. Why is that, Jamie?
That it's a little bit superstitious, but because if you look at all the rosters, it's kind of hard to tell here, but Hers is the only name that is in all capitals. So that immediately strikes me as someone who's a very bold competitor, willing to take risks. So from that immediate first impression, I have placed my money on her.
Indeed, so she has also placed high in multiple True Function and French competitions from around different countries as well. But one athlete I would like to highlight out here is Sebi Godfrey. He went out and competed at the World Championships this year for the first time and absolutely loved it. And since then, he has been training very hard at True Function to try and build up his strength and overall course cardio and technique for this Premier Series competition. He's been looking forward to this one for a while, and that can be said for a lot of our athletes out here. So we have Arlo on the start line coming out of Wiltshire, and here he goes, our first competitor for True Function.
Swinging up to those fluffy red clouds. It's a little bit of a high gap up there. Thankfully, it looks like they're allowed to be using some of that trussing to get up there, and utilizing both sides of each of those clouds. It's the smart. Oh, and he
the hand! It was right there. So close. Unfortunately, almost had it to the very end there. You could see he was traversing pretty fast, honestly, on those fluffy red clouds as well. So I'm excited to see how that speed is going to pay off on the challenge course later. But unfortunately, the final cloud, too much for his fingers, and just had a tiny slip up there, which ultimately cost him falling through there. But that's going to put Arlo on the board for the kids' males as we now move on to our next competitor. We have Letty Godfrey coming along through here.
I'm excited to see what she's going to be able to do. So she is going to be in our kids' female division. So we're going from kids' male to kids' female, it appears. We're going to be switching a little bit of divisions, but still, the same rules are going to apply. If she falls at least once, that's going to be the end of her run. And I liked what I saw on our previous run on those fluffy red clouds. We saw our previous competitor use side to side. Our demonstrator only used just one side. So having that ingenuity, especially very early on in the run order, that's something that really I like to see, because that means that they're willing to take a lot of big risks that might not be like the norm.
Yeah, exactly. On the placement course, it ultimately decides your placement, obviously, going into the challenge course. But with that, it doesn't determine your whole result for
There's very
the
little
competition,
pressure.
you know? Exactly. It's definitely one of those types of courses where you can just full send it and be completely fine with anything that might go wrong, might go right as well. So you're going to be really dependent on your trust and your skill available to you when you're going through on these courses right here.
It's also, in my opinion, a really good like mini warm-up. It gets yourself that feel, because some of these kids, this may not be their home gym. They might not be used to some of this tech, because Dion, he builds all these obstacles by himself. It might not be like your common like DGS kind of obstacle where it's mass produced. So getting that feel for an obstacle, that's something that having this course where there's that lack of pressure is really instrumental.
Absolutely. Dion knows how to put on some incredible courses. I think since the Premier Series started, he's been trying his best to just push what these athletes are capable of. And Luke Norris, one of the coaches down at True Function, gave me a text this morning and told me that it is the most difficult course that Dion has ever made, particularly the challenge course that we're going to be seeing. So I'm excited for that one. But yeah, it's a very difficult one. But Dion, a pioneer in the ninja community all over the world. He's competed in so many different countries. He competed in the Premier Series finals 2 years ago at Ferox in 2023 as the course designer, as well as multiple different ninja shows. But keeping the theme out here for our kids' males, it's going to be Timote Vergue coming through now on the fluffy red clouds out here. We're going to see if he can move on through.
Utilizing just one side, but
nice
it's got
technique,
really big
good flow.
wingspan. Here's our first look here at the step and swing. You got to really propel that swing back and forth to cross the gap. He's able to get that there.
Yes.
And now balance is up next. Not really that much of a threat onto the fidget spinners. And this time limit does not really seem to be that much of a threat right now. Just has to make sure that he
Oh, yes. Lovely stuff there. Good reach from Timote coming through onto the door.
There.
Good orientation. Good orientation. You could see he is swinging in the correct way. He's also got a minute left, so he's able to take his time on the fly to victory, but it looks like he's going to try his best to just move through as fast as he can here. As he's on these trapezes right now, Jamie. Takes the boot scoot in his stride and hits the
that.
buzzer. Brilliant stuff there from Timote, coming in first place, putting himself on the board with an incredible time.
Yeah, 54 seconds left is absolutely incredible. He was able to just blaze through this entire course. I liked the fact that while being a little bit cautious here and there, he was not afraid to just full set, especially when it came to the end. Letting go with one of those hands to reach out to that ring. That was definitely a very risky move, but it worked out in his favor. And with that, we already have one competitor at the buzzer with 13 more to go. So I think what we could see as the competitors go on is that we could see competitors more racing towards the buzzer rather than worrying about the obstacles themselves.
Exactly, especially if they are really wanting a later run on the challenge course, particularly. It's going to be one of those times where all of these athletes are really going to have to lock in their skills out here. And it looks like next up is going to be another competitor who went out to Worlds this year. We've got Alexander Cook coming along through. Next up, he has competed last year in the Premier Series, started out True Function competitions last year as well, started Ninja in 2023. We're going to be seeing how Alexander can put on a show out here for the placement course and see where he's going to be going into the challenge course due to his placement.
Only 2 years of Ninja under his belt. That's very impressive that he's able to not only make it to Worlds, but also make it to the Premier Series. That's something that a lot of competitors struggle to do even with more years under their belt. So Alexander Cook, very much so being one of the competitors to look out for, just given the fact that he has not been in the scene for that long. But that means that does not mean that he's any less formidable. These 7 obstacles are not necessarily the most difficult, but you just gotta be able to execute throughout every single one of these. We've already seen one competitor go down on the fluffy red clouds, and our other competitor be able to finish. So there's a lot of opportunities to get caught up on some of these obstacles. I think the place where you can get caught up the most is most likely going to be Close the Door. That's an obstacle where if you don't immediately get a giant push heading into those doors, you could be kind of stuck there dangling the entire time. Didn't really see that from our previous competitor, but that's something to look out for, especially given the fact that we are just coming off of Worlds, where that was an obstacle on stage 1 that wreaked havoc for a lot of competitors.
It absolutely did. So we're going to be seeing Alexander Cook coming along through, coming out of Gloucestershire, is going to be able to move on through this placement course now. You can see him moving along. Lovely stuff up those steps right there. And now he comes on through to the fluffy red clouds.
You gotta get a lot of depth with those arms. Gotta stretch them out all the way. You're able to grab the top and be able to hang on. And now onto another obstacle here. Balance. Oh,
Yes.
I thought I was trying to rush it there for a second. Just try and run straight off there, but taking some time to build that swing back and forth. And now heading over to the toadstool tread. Doing great so far. About on the same pace as Timote. Just 5 seconds behind, but now onto the fidget spinners. A little bit side to side. Yeah, has to take a few back swings here to be able to bridge the gap between that ring and the 16 fidget spinner. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. He's going back and forth.
Oh, the reach! Unfortunately, was too much for Alexander that time. He tried to static it, but unfortunately couldn't there. He might have wanted to do a smaller shade to get on there instead of reaching out and trying to trust his wingspan like that on a very big gap. But still, great stuff for Alexander so far. That's going to place him in the middle of the leaderboard right here, going into the challenge course for the kids males. And we only have one more kids males, another world championship goer, Sebi Godfrey.
Yeah, we are already almost done with one division. That's kind of crazy to say, but with the very small amount of competitors running in the kids amateur kids division, that's something that we are going to see, especially given the fact that placement courses traditionally are not the ones that take as long as the challenge courses. Challenge courses usually see competitors going on for the entire duration of their time limit, but here they're blazing through with literally over a minute left, as seen by Timote. But now Sebi is onto the course.
Here we move now. Sebi has been waiting for this day for quite a while. He's been training a lot of his tech, trying to get his swings better as well. So hopefully that comes into play here on this placement course. So we're going to see Sebi reaching on out. Let's see how his dismount is going to be. Nice. Now then, step and swing, a large obstacle, a lot of body awareness needed here. So let's see how Sebi is able to do here.
He starts swinging on the back as compared to our previous competitors. And that's actually giving him a lot of swing, but going more cautiously than any of the competitors before this point. I'm liking that before he chooses these obstacles, it looks like he's sizing up the challenge. That way he's fully prepared instead of running straight into it and potentially making an early mistake. But Sebi's doing good so far. 55 seconds left as he's on to the fidget spinners. Got to get a ginormous amount of swing here, but he's swinging a little side to side. Has to be able to redirect that swing. And, immediately as I say that, he does exactly that. Oh!
No! Oh, he
the
tried to do
distance.
the Lachey. He tried to do the Lachey over to the second fidget spinner, but still, he couldn't make it there. That's unfortunate. He really tried there as well. You could see here on his run-up, reached out to that ring and had a good momentum shift going into things, but still, he couldn't get that. So hopefully he can have that same urgency going into the challenge course, which is something we're going to be seeing in a bit. Well done to Sebi, though, making it into third place. So he's going to be running second for the kids' males out here. So when we get there onto the challenge course, he's going to be running second. He's going to see Arlo go as well. And it looks like next up on our run order is going to be our only kids female of the day. It's going to be Letty Godfrey. It might be Sebi's sister, too.
Might be, but since she's the only person in her division, this run effectively has no stakes whatsoever. She will be both running first and last for her division. So being able to just warm up through this course, that's something that honestly I would take, just because whenever you're given a course where you are able to just perform to the best of your abilities without having to worry about time, cutoffs, or anything like that, that is where a lot of competitors are able to excel the most, because it is just you versus the obstacles, not you versus the other competitors.
Here we go. Letty is now off on the course, keeping that good balance there. Coming into the fluffy red clouds. Out here, she gets the reach up there, a large reach there. Not the tallest in the kids division out here. So she's going to have to utilize every single bit she's got here in her arms wingspan here. Gets the nice transition there.
Yeah, going to need both hands on the edge of each of those clouds. This is going to be a big gap. She might want to have both hands on the other side. So that way she's able to maybe even try and do a flip.
Goes, oh, but couldn't get the gap there, sadly. Letty almost had it there. Still brilliant stuff. Awesome stuff there. Tried her best to move on through. A lot of good. She was very stable. It looks like she was locked onto that cloud there for quite a while, so I commend that.
Yeah, only her height was a hindrance, but grip strength-wise, I think she did great there. She just was able to get solid grips, because whenever you're having those kind of ledges where there's not really any lips on them, it's very easy for you to be able to peel off, but she, look, as you said, very, very solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely stuff so far from our kids division. Now next up we have 10 of our mature kids that are going to be coming through onto this placement course. We're going to have the females going first out here. We've got 5 of them out here getting ready to go. The first of which is going to be Luca Maria Dan out here. I think her mother, Adiko Dan, is going to be on the sideline getting ready for her to go. I'm going to be excited for that.
Yeah, this is the first division, at least this weekend, that has stakes to it. 5 competitors are in this division. Only 4 will be advancing to the finals. So this placement course is going to have a little bit of stakes here. You want to be able to get as late of a run as possible to know where those cutoff points are. Still, only 1 competitor has been able to get to the buzzer so far. We know it is possible, but it might take a while to be able to execute. With the mature kids, though, being a little bit taller than some of our younger kids, it definitely is going to help them, especially when it comes to the fluffy red clouds. That obstacle where wingspan is definitely needed, that's something that a lot of these kids are definitely going to thrive in.
It will be definitely... I'm excited to see how it's going to go. We're actually going to toss to a break shortly so we can do a quick reset for the mature kids version of the placement course out here. Going to make sure some adjustments are going to be all ready to be set up now. So, Jamie, any thoughts going into it?
I'm really, really excited. We've already seen a good amount of people attempt the course. They know, as I've said already, they know it's possible. They just have to be able to execute. But with their skill, with their ages being a little bit older, they have that maturity, they have that ability to assess the obstacles a little bit more thoroughly, and there's a chance that we could be seeing more competitors get to that buzzer than in our previous 2 divisions.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see how things are going to go for our mature kids from Billy Dixon and Jamie Dayhoff. We're going to be seeing you guys in a moment. Take care. Stay tuned.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform.
Hello everybody, welcome back to True Function Ninja Training Grounds Premier Series Qualifier out here in Swindon in the United Kingdom. My name is Billy Dixon. I am joined alongside Jamie Dayhoff for today's competition, and we just wrapped up the kids placement course out here with quite a couple of shocks, some very difficult obstacles, some very big moves needed from a lot of our kids. But now we're going to be moving on to the mature kids division with 10 athletes coming through. Jamie, how are we feeling?
We've already seen 5 runs. One of them is cleared. We are at a 20% clear rate. 10 competitors are left, and with them being all mature kids, that means they're going to be a little bit older. That means that they're going to probably fare a little bit better. Obviously, we might have had some modifications as they are older. Distances might be a little further, but we are starting off with Luca Maria.
Here we go. Just under 100 seconds now for her to get a small move on out here on the fluffy red clouds, trying to move on through these.
Now it's a whole lot more manageable than our
holds.
kids.
Yeah, a lot of wingspan usage is going to have to be needed throughout this obstacle. But Luca Maria, lovely stuff right there, as she now comes on through to the step and swing. A very difficult obstacle, a lot of body awareness needed to push it through.
Yeah, it's also very easy to be able to waste a lot of time here going back and forth, but able to get to that dismount rather quickly. And now over to Toadstool Tread, just this little curve of those lily pads, able to get through. But this is the obstacle so far that we've seen a lot of struggle with, the fidget spinners. It's specifically been getting from that second ring, which is attached to the fidget spinner, to the free moving one. Now, not only getting high enough to be able to grab it, but also being able to get the distance. That's something that a lot of people have been struggling on. And now Luca Maria, a little backwards here, needs to flip around, try to find it, can't really have success yet.
There we go. Okay, she's kicking the back ring. Almost tried to get it there. She might have a better... I was going to say, she might have a better option to go for the back ring and have a better pull back to try and get her through. But still, that fidget spinner obstacle really starting to put a dent in things for our mature kids division. I think it might be because, obviously, a new obstacle. The UK ninjas haven't really seen fidget spinners before. A couple generations back, I think they got introduced, but now Dion's got them in here. I would like to assume that True Function is like the hub of all the new things being added from Ninja. There's a lot of tech being recently involved, but now we're only just getting fidget spinners, so we're seeing a lot of these kids try to adjust on the fly now. But here is Thea Philby Price out here. Let's see how she can fare. Very fast and sturdy onto these clouds right now. Very fast.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, moving with a purpose here, but also not being afraid to take time here, especially on the clouds and utilizing both sides. That's smart. Going to change up what muscles are going to be taxed, and now on to the step and swing. Saw her go fast with the first obstacle, which is agility based. What's the technique here? She's really swinging that back and forth. Probably the most dramatic push that we've seen so far. And now heading over through the fourth obstacle, and now back at fidget spinners. I want to now as you were saying, I would like to see a little bit more of a pullback. There we go. That's a very, very strong transition. But the best way to do this one is really kicking your legs high up. There we go. You're doing that right there. But now swinging a little bit side.
Oh no, the tap! She was right there. She nearly had a hand on those fidget spinners. Sadly, not going to be able to get it there. A lot of force coming into this run, though. I did like the sense of urgency. Didn't really take many breaks, but the fidget spinners really starting to show its teeth out here. But we have a good opportunity to see them cleared right here, as we have Alison Girardo coming through, a French representative who's very experienced when it comes to True Function competitions.
Yeah, True Function, one of the most prolific ninja gyms, and honestly, I'd say all the ninja scene. It is one of those gyms where, personally, me, located in the U.S., I would absolutely love to go there. That is one of my top 5 gyms to go to, just for its historic purposes. It has been so fundamental to the history of ninja, especially over the last, I'd say, like 10 years.
Pretty much, yeah. True Function started in a smaller venue in around 2015 when Ninja Warrior UK started to come on TV. And then just before COVID, Dion started building this version of True Function. And it's really, really set an impression on the UK ninja scene. But now Alison coming along through, setting the standard here. 3.5 seconds ahead of Thea to this point. Here she goes. Has a lot of power coming into this final swing where she dismounts with a good pace. Along through those steps right there. And now Alison's in second currently.
Here is that problem obstacle.
A large pullback.
Ooh, that's good so far. I'm liking that, but can't go for it immediately. Just does not have the height needed. And now backwards, gotta flip herself around. But now that she's flipped herself
Here she
around, you
goes.
can see her swaying a little bit left to right. Gotta be able to correct that. Grab it!
That's it! There we go!
Now,
Allison.
tried to lachey out. It's a really, really far transition. Not a lot of room to grab. Gotta be able to really throw yourself into it. Allison might be psyching herself out in her head, but there we go. Able to
Yes!
get it. One hand on one side.
There we
one
go.
hand on the other
Okay,
side.
now
Now slamming her way through
30
the doors.
seconds. She's got to
We'll
get
get
a
that
good
there.
grasp onto it, turn it around. Now
Big
here we
flip
go
out.
again. Lovely stuff. Turn it around even further here. As we see 20
Locked it
seconds. Gets the dismount. And now just the boot scoot left to go for Allison to fly to victory and get a buzzer on this placement course. 10 seconds left. Here we go.
Good
Jamie
lachey.
gets
Oh,
the swing.
no!
No! Right at the end there. Allison almost had it. The buzzer. That was so close.
She was doing absolutely stellar up until that point. I like the fact that she was properly utilizing the time limit the entire time. We see a lot of players going for speed, but she was very cautious of the time and made sure to utilize pretty much every single second to her advantage.
Brilliant stuff there.
That
Super,
lands her
super
in
close
first.
to getting our first buzzer of the Mature Kids division out there. So, so close, but hopefully that's opened up the gate for a lot of our other athletes to come on through and hopefully get another shot at our courses out here. We've got Maya Lewis coming through now, who's going to be our next runner in the Mature Kids female division on this placement course here at True Function. Let's see how she can fare out here. She's seen a lot of these guys come on through, get stuck on the fidget spinners mostly. So we're going to be seeing if she can come on through coming out of Oxfordshire. Let's see how she can fare.
Stepping through these steps. No one's really shown a problem there with that first agility obstacle. Just kind of there for walking your way into it. But now onto these fluffy red clouds. Another competitor utilizing both sides. That way you're able to properly grab on to both them and be able to adapt on the fly. And now just the dismounts left, it looks like. Just a few grabs. And now plopping down, able to get down there. But this is an obstacle here where we've seen competitors take a few seconds. Might want to try and go for those two chains towards the ends. That way she's able to properly set up her swing without potentially losing that balance, getting to that point. That's what she's doing. Swinging back and forth, able to get to the dismount platform. Over a minute left here for these final 3 obstacles now.
Here we go. We have under a minute, of course. As we're now coming into these fidget spinners. Takes the grab up to that ring. Trying to get a big pull back here. Lovely. A
Doing
bit
that
crooked.
here.
Might want to recenter herself.
Yeah, she started swinging to the
see
left,
here.
now she's swinging to the right. Can't really find a way to properly stay aligned, but ooh!
Oh, no. You can see she tried to have a good reach out there, but unfortunately couldn't get the grab on that fidget spinner. Really starting to take out quite a few people here.
Yeah, only one competitor in our Mature Kids female division has been able to get through that obstacle. And we are already almost done with it. We got one competitor left to be able to try and see clear on this, or else this course for the division is going to go undefeated. But I have faith that Georgina will be able to get through the course, the last of our Mature Kids females to run. So with what she's seen under her belt, hopefully we will see just the second competitor in her division be able to clear the fidget spinner, but it's going to be no easy feat. We've seen so many competitors on that obstacle be able to get to that second ring, but that transition from the second ring to the fidget spinner is where we are seeing the struggles. We're seeing competitors sway from side to side. You've got to really make sure that you really focus on going forward and back. Georgina is off, but she's got to get to that point first. Has the fluffy red clouds in front of her, which has been a problem for previous divisions, but with them being a lot taller, they have a lot better of a wingspan to be able to get through, and we're seeing that right off the bat here.
Lovely stuff here from Georgina Goran. She competed last year in the Premier Series at True Function, so she has a lot of experience to make sure she can move on through this placement course with a good pace. Trying to gather up a bit of momentum here. Trying to think of it as like a swing on a playground that you'd see here. Lovely stuff. I like that technique, trying to set one leg out to carry that momentum. I've seen a couple people do that already, but now here we go on to the fidget spins. Well, 1 minute left. Georgina's currently in third within the Mature Kid female division. The last Mature Kid female here has a large backswing here representing.
Oh, that was great. but not really kicking her
go.
legs that forward.
No!
Out.
Oh! Good save
That was a
there
save,
from
all
Georgina. Here we
Go
go.
for it.
No!
Another save.
Still
All right.
really
come on,
gonna have to
third time's
commit
the
to it
charm.
just that extra bit more.
Oh!
No! Almost had it there. Had a good reach out there, but couldn't get there. Just kind of face planted down. Almost had it. Still brilliant.
I really liked her willingness to be able to commit on that fidget spinner, though. You saw as she progressively missed that fidget spinner, though, it started tilting a little bit upward. So that made that grab a little bit hard to do, but she still tried her best to be able to reach out there. I like the fact that she was swinging back and forth. That pullback while she was grabbing onto that first and second ring was absolutely spectacular. That set her up great for that first transition. But now it's time to look ahead to what the mature kids are doing. We got 5 more competitors left to attempt this course to be able to see how they will be able to, just like our mature kids, there's actually gonna be 6 of them, I believe. No, there's gonna be 5. I am unable to count. My apologies. There are 5 of them,
here we
so
go.
same thing.
On to the mature kids males now. We're turning on to the lively lads out here for the True Function qualifier. 1.5 minutes as we have Rafi Graham coming through. Another person out of Gloucestershire. 1:25. Trying to get that pull through here. On these clouds now. Good dismount there. Now Rafi is going to be coming along through. Nice.
Immediately went for those
take-
back two chains. That way, he wasn't going to be in any sketchy situation with it swinging. Able to get through there now, and on to the toadstools.
Here we
Got
go.
through that as well.
Nice, 1 foot at a time. Now let's see if Rafi can build up a lot of momentum and power to try and lachey over to these fidgets now.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far out of these kicks, but the best way to be able to do this one, have your feet together so that way you're able to fully maximize the distance. Looks like he's doing it there without them, with them being a little bit separated. A big lachey.
Yo! Almost had it, just loses his grip barely. That's the closest we've seen so far today. That was brilliant stuff there from Rafi. Super, super close. He had his correct hand placement on the spinner, but just couldn't lock it in, sadly.
Yeah, that's our first example of a competitor being able to land on the fidget spinner, but then having the force of making that big of a lachey peel them off. That's something that I think a lot of competitors haven't really taken into account. Being able to absorb your body weight as you essentially fall down, that's something that's very, very hard to do, especially after doing 4 obstacles while also being on a time limit. Got 4 more competitors left. I think, though, that it's going to be very, very possible for at least one of them to be able to clear. Paul Williams will be our next competitor to attempt the course, going straight through the first obstacle without a problem and going immediately up to the clouds. Going a little bit forward and back, though. Might want to focus on going side to side more than anything else. Doesn't want to have an accidental peel.
Here we
Not
go.
really fixing that. Oh, and we
Ooh,
see it
keep
float
that hand
forward.
in play there. Okay, so
Trying to
Paul,
get it there. Good, all right.
awesome stuff there. So Paul, very dedicated to his training. On his
Going for
Instagram
it.
story,
That's
he's been doing like a
smart.
daily countdown for every single day to this Premier Series. Been very excited. He competed at Worlds this year as well. We're going to be seeing how good he can do out here. Now coming into the Premier Series for the first time, started Ninja competing at True Function this year. And now we're going to be seeing how good he can get out here on the step and swing. He's got the grab. There we go. Gets that balance there. Coming along through the toadstool tread. And now this is the big one, the fidget spinners. He's first place so far. Now let's see how he can fare as he comes along through.
This is an obstacle I'm kind of worried about, especially given the fluffy red clouds. He was kind of swinging all over the place, not really in the ideal direction, but looks like Paul being able to get a lot straightforward of a swing here, being able to go in the direction where his ball
Yes!
goes.
No! The peel out of that ring! Almost had it. Paul had something going there, but sadly wasn't able to pull on through on that ring there. That lachey, excellent. Great transition there from the fidget spinners. Let's see if that essence and that determination can carry through to the rest of the challenge course later on. As we now have 3 more competitors left to go, starting out with Rory Staton.
Yeah, he will be kicking off our final 3 runners. So, we are nearing the tail end of the placement course of the Premier Series. There we go. We've nearly seen 15 competitors. This will be our 13th out of our 15 competitor running. Still only one person's made it to the buzzer. I want to see another competitor be able to get there.
Absolutely. It's definitely possible. 3 amazing competitors left. Starting out with Rory right now, coming out of Crudwell in Wiltshire. He's coming along through onto the fluffy red clouds now. 1.5 minutes as he's going to try his best to push on through here. Gets the grab onto the 3rd of them. And now moves on through to the 4th. Lovely stuff there. As all he has left to do is the dismount, which he gets. And he's now moving along through to the step and swing. Nice, a bit stumbly, but he's still going to move on through very well currently now. Lovely stuff there from Rory. 1.5 minutes. Fastest pace so far as well. Rory now coming along into the toadstool tread.
Opted not really to do that much of a pullback, just going to generate his swing on that second ring. We're seeing that greatly so far. Look at the power out of Rory so far, being able to swing back and forth. But now it's starting to go a little bit sideways. Has to be able to correct it, getting it there. But now the big transit.
No! Almost had it on the fidget spinners, but it's going to put him in second so far. That was brilliant stuff there from Rory. He had both hands on the fidget spinner, but unfortunately not going to fully hack it there. Super close. We're seeing a theme now of a lot of our shorter athletes getting really, really close to getting that fidget spinner Lachey, but just not making it fully. But now, 2 more competitors left. We're going to be having Gabriel Greer coming along through now, a member of Team True Function on the shirt right there. Trains here. He's getting ready to go.
You can see him on the starting line there, getting ready here. Looks very determined to be able to execute here. 100 seconds to get from the starting platform to the buzzer onto the fluffy red clouds. And I'm liking the fact that he's swaying a lot back and forth here. That's working out for him. Able to really control his body here as he's swinging back and forth. Being that high up in the air might be a little scary, but showing no signs of being afraid so far. A lot of these kids are very, very fearless when it comes to Ninja. Being able to just throw their bodies into anything and hopefully being able to grab on. That's probably what we're going to see if he's able to get all the way over to the fidget spinner, but gotta get to that point first, cautiously on those final 2 chains to be able to build up that swing back and forth. Didn't want to potentially make any mistakes that could have been easily reversed. And through that obstacle as well.
Lovely stuff right here. Gabriel competed in the February qualifier at True Function, put on a very good show there. And he's now going to put on a very good show in the Premier Series out here. Going to take a massive pullback there. Trying to get a lot of momentum to carry it through on these fidget spinners. Now he's trying his best to get a good grip on here. A lot of swing needed here. Let's see if Gabriel can get it. Oh! Tried to reach out there. No! Could have had a one-handed Lachey there. Almost had it, but just peels out. Gabriel, super, super close.
Yeah, he was doing great up until that point, but I think what ultimately did him in on that fidget spinner was whenever he was getting his forward swings, he was only kicking out with 1 foot. So whenever you kick out with 1 foot, that kind of throws off your forward direction a little bit. It kind of makes you sway a little bit side to side, and you don't get as much power as you would if you went both feet forward. You see, actually, a lot of people who have a dance background being able to do that more consistently because they are more used to being able to point their toes. So having both of those legs being kicked out, that's something that is very, very important in a lot of aspects of life, being able to just transfer from two completely different things. But as I say that, we still have 1 more competitor left to run this placement course before we head over to our challenge course. Still 1 clear. I want to see another person hit that buzzer.
Me too. It's going to be absolutely brilliant to see how things are going to go for our final athlete to then finish out on our first placement course of the weekend out here. We've got Felix Alder that's going to be coming through next to get ready to go out here. We're going to see. Actually, hang on a second. Oh, actually, no. That is all of the runners so far. We're going to be having our 4 athletes coming through next up on the challenge course. We're going to have everyone run in the order that they deserved out here for the challenge course in just a moment. Jamie, how are we feeling? This challenge course is going to be elite. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am very, very, very interested in seeing what's going to happen. Challenge courses usually debut some kind of new tech, so seeing what our competitors are going to be able to do, I kind of see it looks like a double-decker devil step in the back. If you can kind of see that blue
Ooh,
M.
yes.
I think that could be a very, very challenging obstacle depending on where it is placed. A very, very taxing obstacle at that. The challenge course is going to be a very, very fun challenge, but also a very, very difficult challenge. It's going to be a lot of things to look out for.
It will be incredibly interesting to see how things go. I'm excited to see what the challenge course is going to consist of. We're going to cut to a short break so everyone can get ready and prepared for how everything's going to go. From Billy Dixon and Jamie Dayhuff, we will see you shortly. Stay tuned.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck at? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slime chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slap trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
Welcome back, everybody, to True Function Ninja Training Ground in Swindon in the United Kingdom for our Premier Series qualifier in the UK. My name is Billy Dixon. I am joined alongside Jamie Dayhuff, and we just wrapped up the placement course out here for the Premier Series competition in the UK. And now we're going to be moving on to the challenge course, where a lot of our athletes are going to be coming along through with a lot of strength and endurance on a long hybrid upper body and lower body orientated course.
Yeah, they've already done one course, so they have the feel for what to do today. They've probably shaken off some of those nerves, but now it's time for them to face a much more difficult course. And honestly, I might be a little bit nervous because our placement course, out of the 14 combined total attempts between our kids, male, female, and mature kids, male and female, we only were able to see one competitor get to the buzzer. So that makes me feel a little bit nervous, but with the slight rule change, I think there's a chance we can see just a little bit more success.
Absolutely, especially because we have got the retries in play as well now. So we're going to be seeing a lot of these guys possibly use them, but we're going to be hoping that all of these people are going to move on through the course without a problem. It's very dependent. We've got 10 obstacles out here ready to go for everyone here. The time limit is going to be 3 minutes on this challenge course for everyone. We've got the steps to start out with, the North Pole, floating on air. We've got through the jungle to the bars, rodeo, ascending rings, Lachey Lane, sky hooks, and the nunchuck climb. This is going to be quite the ride out here, everybody.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, with there being 10 obstacles and a 3-minute time limit, if you're trying to split up each of those obstacles equally, that's less than 20 seconds per obstacle. So riders are going to be racing through this course. We have seen throughout this entire Premier Series that with the retries in play, we are seeing a lot of competitors run out of time as they go later on into the course. That could be due to resting, due to having taken multiple attempts on an obstacle, getting caught up on an obstacle. Multiple variables are in play, and with the time limit also being a factor as well.
Absolutely. We've got 3 minutes for 10 obstacles. It's going to be a very exciting time out here. Some obstacles might have more time spent than others, but it's a large efficiency game. If you want to get to the end of this course and get a buzzer, then you can definitely do that. You just need to really focus on everything that you can do out here. But I'm excited to see how things are going to go for everybody, but they are going to need a couple minutes until the demo starts. Let's have a look at what other competitions we have got for this weekend in Swindon for True Functions Premier Series. So we're on the kids and mature kids currently. We've got the pre-teens later on at a different time. But tomorrow we've got the amateurs, teens, and the elites. We can see here the amateurs at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're watching from the East Coast of America, these are your times. We are, the people in the UK, I think we're around 4 hours ahead. So amateurs around 8:30 or 9:30 for tomorrow. Going to be exciting times out there. And then the teens are coming along at 8 a.m. So around midday tomorrow for the UK time. And then the elites hopefully will be coming along through at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is around 5. It's going to be quite a ride out here. We got the pre-teens later on today as well. It's going to be very fun.
100%. This weekend is going to be filled with so much action. This is our last qualifier before we head to the finals. So this is going to be a lot of competitors' last chances to be able to qualify for that. Everyone wants to be able to get a spot there. It is going to be so competitive for every single division heading into the finals because everyone wants to be able to become their respective division's Premier Series champion.
Absolutely. And speaking of Premier Series champions, we have a couple of big names to have a look forward to on the finals that are going to be happening in only 3 weeks. We've got a bit to highlight some of the elite ninjas that we're going to be seeing in 3 weeks. We've got Noah Munia and Jackson Erdos. Noah Munia is the reigning world champion for the WNL out here in the Grand Champion aspect of things, and Jackson was last year's world champion and the reigning Premier Series champion as well. So it's going to be a battle to see if Noah can add another first place to his ever growing bio of results to see, or will Jackson be able to defend his title and have another first place to his name to be the Premier Series champion 2 years in a row? We're going to be seeing that. On the female side of things, we've got 3 amazing athletes out here. We've got Nora Brown-John, Seda Magtoto, and Addie Herman. Nora, last year's Premier Series champion. Addie Herman, the reigning world champion. And Seda, an absolutely amazing underdog pick to be moving along through for the championship title for Premier Series. You guys do not want to miss the Premier Series finals. We're ready for a demo, though, back here in the UK for True Function. We're going to be seeing Dion on the course momentarily, I want to say. We're going to be seeing how things are going to go out here and how the course is going to flow out here within the 3 minutes that these athletes have.
This is going to be their first look at what this course has to offer up in person. Obviously, they were able to be given some rules, but that was a hot minute ago. So they might need a little bit of a refresher here to be able to know what they are fully facing.
It's going to be interesting to see how things go. We're getting everyone ready to go. All the kids coming along through to the big stage to see what they're going to be up against. We're going to be starting around on the right side of the walls. So on the starting soon screen with the timer, on the right side of the big wall apparatus, we're going to be seeing the demo run be done out here. It's going to be exciting.
Gonna start off just like a lot of Ninja Warrior courses do on just your average steps. So, getting ready on the starting line.
Here is Dion Trigg, our course designer for this weekend and owner of True Function. We have the steps to start on through, a little bit of a hill climb in there as well as we go up the Vegas ramp, as it's called there. And we move on to the North Pole. Oh no, we've got the poles involved. No, these are brutal in True Function ways. They are very, very difficult. Floating on air is next up. We have the Shuriken flip boards. We haven't seen those in quite a while. Followed by Through the Jungle, a couple of banana and coconut holds out here as well. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, competitors are going to channel their inner monkey to be able to hang off of each of these, kind of like monkey bars, and then get over to the truss and actually hang on to a rope. And then after that,
Here we go.
sliding through.
Scoot down. Lovely stuff there. As we now move on to the bars, literally. We're going to go up that small lumberjack climb. We have molded these bars back into their laches now. So we're going to be seeing how the orientation is. It seems like you can just use any bar possible to get over to that rope over there. We then stand up here and then take a large swing over to the dismount platform, which is going to be located up there. First off, coming along through, we have a small
mini
bar
rope junction.
and then more ropes.
This one's very rope heavy. Ropes are one of those things that are very, very hard to be able to master. Their grip is very, very hard to be able to grab onto, especially as you're going through each of these obstacles where grip is very much on the forefront, and that continues here onto the ascending rings. The name very, very literal, rings that just ascend. And that will take you to your dismount.
Here we go. Back at the top of the Vegas ramp as we now have the sky hooks and the... No, we have the lache lane first off. We've got more laches coming along through. Here we go. We got Dion popping along through these bars so far. We've got the propeller in play currently, followed by more bars out here. And then we have one of the shelves out here where we got to be quite sensitive on how we approach them. And then the dismount follows it, followed by the sky hooks right here. Now, small story about sky hooks. They were introduced in Ninja around, what, 2014, 2015, Jamie?
I'd honestly say 2016. Giant Ring Swing was when they were really popularized.
Right, I see. But regardless, they were introduced into True Function only last year. So it took a while for Skyhooks to get over here. Quite a breakthrough. But now we have the Nunchuck climb, where it looks like it's some kind of Iron Maiden type move after the Skyhooks here. So we
looks like you can utilize those legs.
Yeah, have a look at this.
A little less taxing, but still after 9 obstacles, that's gotta be brutal, especially when the buzzer is right there, right up in front of you, and the timer is most...
There we go. Okay. Love it. That's the one right there. So that is your challenge course quite difficult there. It's definitely one of the more difficult ones that I've seen be put on at True Function out here. I can see Coach Luke in the back being absolutely gobsmacked by that sight. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, this course is definitely going to be one that a lot of kids, I think, are definitely going to struggle on, but having those retries in play, that's going to be something that's absolutely instrumental. If you were not here earlier, when we went over them, essentially every competitor is given 2 retries. However, you're not allowed to use 2 retries on the same obstacle. So say you failed the first obstacle, the steps. You are able to try that obstacle again. And if you clear, you're able to advance as if nothing ever happened. But if you fail it on that retry, your second attempt, then unfortunately that's where your run is going to end. And that will continue if you fail a second obstacle, but if you fail a third separate obstacle, then that is where your final run is going to stand. No retries will be in play after that, and that is how many points you will be awarded. So, being able to, in real time, go back to an obstacle, assess what you did wrong, be able to improve on that, and then potentially even further yourself, that is one of those things that Premier Series is able to give that a lot of other competitions don't. A lot of competitions are usually one and done, but being able to get your revenge literally seconds after you fail it is so honestly thrilling for a lot of these competitors.
It absolutely will be, and I'm excited to see how things are going to go, because realistically, this course is only going to get tougher as the divisions go on. You know, we're going to see arguably the easiest deception of it with the kids and the mature kids out here. There might be some changes in between the divisions as well today. But regardless, the jump from this course all the way to the elites at the end of tomorrow is going to be absolutely insane to see. And I'm really hyped to see how it's going to go and watch it here. So we're just resetting the course, getting ready for our first competitor, which is going to be Arlo Staten out here. I think he's going to move on through first off right here, unless it is Letty going first. We're going to see shortly. But regardless, I'm excited to see it. Jamie, I gotta ask, I'm running this course tomorrow. Are there any tips that I should be taking in right now?
I think just going fast is one of those things that is going to be very, very important, because we saw Dion do the course. I think he did it in around 3 minutes. I obviously was not doing it like I had a little mini stopwatch the entire time, but he was going at a moderate pace, being able to get a perfect run on all those obstacles. And still, even then, I think that took about 3 minutes. So unless you are absolutely like blazing through the course like your Kai Beckstrand, I don't know how fast you can go.
It's gonna be a difficult one. I'm excited to see who ultimately is gonna come out on top, because realistically, it can be anyone's game. Most people in the placement course went out on the fidget spinners. There are no fidget spinners in this, so we're gonna be seeing how all of their skills can be put to the test to get ready to go here.
What fidget spinners have been replaced by, though, is things that might be more considered difficult. You know, having skyhooks, things that were introduced just this gym the previous year. That's something that I feel like a lot of kids might have a little bit of a mental block over. Having a free-moving element in tech, that's something that a lot of kids, at least in my personal experience, get very, very afraid of. They get in their head about it if they're not fully 100% comfortable. So having to do that in a competition setting, not only that, have maybe in place the 9th out of 10 obstacles, when your grip is already probably burning, there's a really good chance that we could see players peel off in a similar way that we saw it on the, the fidget spinners, where the force of just landing on a cradle is very similar to your force of making a giant lachet onto the fidget spinner, and it might just ultimately peel you off. So there's going to be a lot of endurance needed for this course.
Absolutely. All the regulars at True Function must have been training their course cardio and their overall endurance when it comes to these courses like this, because they know they've seen Premier Series courses like this a couple years before this, and they know it really takes a lot. It gets quite pumpy, but you really need to move on through with a good pace if you want to get it all sorted.
Yeah, our competitors just strategizing. It looks like no competitor has seen all of these obstacles, at least in succession at the same time. So it is going to be a major test to see what they're able to do. Are any of these obstacles particularly new for this competition specifically?
Sorry, I cut out there. What happened?
Basically, we are going to get ready for Arlo Staten to attempt the course, but I was asking if any obstacles were made specifically for the competition. Obviously, with this being one of the main gyms that you go for. But now
Absolutely.
onto the poles.
I think so the poles have definitely been a difficult obstacle within the past few years. I think it's a True Function staple, if anything. They've been here for quite a while, but I've never seen them in this part of the gym before, at the very back. So we're seeing Arlo be the guinea pig, essentially. We've seen the Shuriken flip here for ages. Ooh,
touchdown.
but it looks like he's gonna have to take his first out of 2 retries here. We've got Dion and Luke resetting the obstacle.
So if he is able to clear this obstacle, he is able to go on just as if nothing happened. But if he fails it for a second time, that unfortunately will be the end of his run. So a lot on the line here to be able to get through. Gets to the end though.
Yes.
So able to keep moving
Lovely
through
stuff.
onto the jungle. Gotta get a big grab here. These holes not the easiest.
A lot of these. Ooh, it looks like he peels out on that second coconut, it looks like. I can't tell if they are... I can't tell what those holds particularly are. They are definitely brown jungle-based things. They could be coconuts. I could be wrong. But those banana holds I've not seen before in True Function. We can see Arlo coming through on these holds without a problem as he comes on through to this truss. And he now moves along here. Oh, they're literal monkey heads. You got to grab onto the head in between those bananas. I love that. That's brilliant. So 1 minute 50 as he nearly makes it.
Gets to the platform.
Gets there this time, though. Lovely stuff. Now he's coming through to the bars. He's going to climb up here. The Lachey bars out here were organized like this at the beginning of True Function's lifespan, but last year they got changed around for them to be different, like a parkour type lane. But now they're back fully. I'm excited for the open gym that we get to see on these bars. Lovely. And now he's moved on to the end of them, where he is now going to take grasp of this rope and still keep hold.
That bar. Oh,
nearly had it. He drops down, and that's going to be the end of Arlo's run, sadly. Almost had it. It is a very small grip, to be fair. Not very large bar to be hanging on to.
Yeah, and especially being on the shorter side of our competitors, getting to it, it's going to be no easy feat for our kid competitors. Might be a little bit easier for our mature kids, but with a lot of our younger kids not really hitting that much of a dramatic growth spurt, it's going to be a very, very tall bridge to gap. But still, we were able to see from Arlo 2 very, very successful uses of his retry. Went down on 2 separate obstacles, was able to best them on attempt number 2. So we are able to see that competitors are able to improve on what they are able to do on that first attempt. Up next is going to be Sebi Godfrey. So I'm excited to see what he is able to do.
Here we go. Sebi came out to the World Championships this year at Greensboro in the USA. It was absolutely brilliant to see him compete. Coming out of Swindon, so a regular out here in Wiltshire. And Sebi loves Ninja. He's been training a lot for this day. Let's see if it all pays off right here. Coming over to North Pole out here as he comes along through. Halloween is over, so technically the next UK holiday is Christmas. So getting kind of into the season here is Dion with the course design as he moves on through here. Sebi, bit hung up here on the final pole, but reaches out to that truss without a problem. Lovely.
And now here's an obstacle that we just saw Arlo struggle with, but nope, he's able to just step right through all of those and over to the jungle. Gotta get a good grasp of each of those monkey heads. Don't want to potentially peel off. And then get another good grab onto the truss. Those trusses are not necessarily the thickest, so it's very easy for you to accidentally miss where you're trying to grab. And now has to get a really good swing here on the rope to be able to bridge the gap. Able to get out and on to the bars. So this obstacle is kind of like a little bit of a maze. You get to choose your own adventure wherever you're going to go. And what we might be seeing out of some competitors later on is that they might be trying to just go for the least amount of bars as possible to be able to conserve as much energy as possible, because we are only halfway through the course right now. 5 out of 10 obstacles with 1:40 left.
You can see here Sebi doing a good job so far. 18 seconds ahead of Arlo to this point as well. Sebi gets the grab onto those ropes now. He's going to take a massive jump to try and keep himself afloat out here.
And he got
good
it.
stuff onto that bar. He's going to then take a diagonal swing to move on to the rodeo rope here.
Enormous.
Oh, but the rope burn is going to cause him to go down there, sadly. as he's now going to try his best to move on through, restarting from just before that rope swing.
That is an absolutely ginormous lâché for Sebi. Gotta be able to get as high up as possible on the ropes. That way, when he inevitably starts peeling, he's able to keep gripping on there. Unfortunately, the first attempt was not successful. So, what has he learned between these two attempts? About 20 seconds between the two attempts. What has he been able to assess? Going for it!
Oh, but just couldn't get the grip. Sebi, unfortunately, down. That's honestly quite a shock exit there. I expected him to go quite a bit further, but still, brilliant stuff there from Seb. Did absolutely brilliant. Yeah, very, very technical coming along in, but it was really at the ropes where he started to become undone there. Had a very solid run up to that point. He should be very proud of himself.
Yeah, that was an absolutely great run. That obstacle is going to be one of the hardest challenges so far, especially that lâché. That is absolutely ginormous for some of these competitors. They are going to need to really throw their bodies into there and hope that they are able to stay on the rope. Rope texture, it's not the most comfortable texture, so being able to land on it after a long distance, that's something that a lot of competitors might struggle with. Alexander Cook, hoping though that he will become the first to get through to the end. Big strides here on the steps though, able to get up and over and on to the poles. We've seen some competitors just use the soles of their feet, the soles of their shoes actually, but he looks like he's potentially utilizing, doing a little bit of pinch technique there to be able to properly grasp onto there, try and take some of the pressure off of his arms and really rely on the lower body. And now he has another lower body challenge in front of him here with the boards.
Here he goes. Lovely stuff there from Alexander. He also went out towards, we can see by the finalist shirt that everyone got. So now we're seeing if he can pull on through. He's doing very well so far. Taking very big pullbacks over to this truss so he can then get a good grab. Hopefully the rope keeps in hold of that truss. Got to get a good grab on it. Yeah, you're right, Jamie. There are a lot of ropes in this course now that you say it. Really putting the vertical grip for these kids really at a test right now.
Yeah, they are going to be absolutely spent by the time they make it to the end of the course, especially with two very techy obstacles closing out the course, but gotta be able to make it there first. A minute 50 left for Alexander Cook, but he is doing great so far, shimmying his body throughout the rest of this course, having this kind of pseudo bar traverse here. That's something that a lot of players might overlook actually, because people might think lâché bars are not really the most taxing obstacle, but that is a lot of distance to cover.
It really is, especially if you're going in smaller moves like that, but Alexander shows no problem with it. He's still got a lot of strength by the looks of things. A minute 20. Can he get the jump over to this rope now? Here he goes. Nice. Oh, I like the idea, though. The one arm reach out definitely helps out.
Yeah, but I think he needs more power with his swing. The thing is, when he was swinging back and forth, he was kind of leading with his knees. What you really want to do there is really kick your feet out, so that way you're able to potentially, might even be able to try and kick it, because one of the things that I at least tell my kids whenever I'm coaching is that if you are able to kick something, you are able to grab it. So if he's at least able to get at least a little bit close with his feet, I think there's a really good chance he's able to. Yep, there we go, perfect.
No, just misses. Just misses with one of his hands there. Alexander doing very well. Brilliant stuff there. That was awesome.
That was a great run from him. He was doing absolutely spectacular. And what I'm wondering is if somehow, some way he was potentially listening to us, because literally as soon as I started saying kick the rope, he started kicking it. Or maybe...
Honestly, though, that is quite a good technique in all fairness.
Yeah, because when it's such a big gap like that, you gotta find a way to lessen it. It's ginormous. Like, you're essentially throwing your body over to that rope and hoping that you're able to stay on. But ropes, again, I've said this like literally 20 times by this point, but that texture is not one that's easy to grip onto. So being able to think of ways to think outside the box, that is key for your most amount of success. But up next, we're going to see our only competitor who was able to actually clear the course, the placement course, and that was Timot, the sole finisher out of everyone. So, hoping to keep that perfect run alive here as he's into the challenge course. Has already hit one buzzer, wants to make it two.
Timote is definitely one of the people who I trust the most to get a good result here on the challenge course. He's coming out of France today, coming out of Saint-Denis-les-Grasse out here in Normandy, out here for the True Function competition, making the trip over. I want to say he already competed in the French competition at Warrior Adventure in Lyon. He did very well there. Kind of a similar vibe out here, but just a bit more tech in this course. So we're going to be seeing Timote come on through here. Very fast so far. No arms used as of yet, as he now comes along through over to the North Pole.
Seems very confident with his lower body. Look at the way he's just kind of plopping his feet onto there, and they're being able to get some traction there. And now here is another lower body centric obstacle. I believe this is the last. Oh! Actually did not complete that obstacle. Has to be able to do a retry, unfortunately.
Ooh, right. So, looks like that Timote is really going to have to lock in now. He does not want to miss out a second time on the North Pole here. Already quite a big time loss, but hopefully he doesn't get much more here. Got to keep it going as he tries his best. Gets the dismount this time, which is lovely to see. Coming along to floating on air on these shuriken flip boards, not a problem, as he now moves into the jungle.
Having to use a retry so early, that's something that could potentially spell doom for the rest of his run, but I'm very confident that he is just able to keep persevering. That's what we're seeing so far. Almost through the jungle. So, just has this rope left for that trampoline, and that's going to be a clear on the obstacle, and he will be over to the bars. So, this is going to be another obstacle that's very, very grip heavy. I think he's going to be able to do good here. Just has to keep moving. And we're seeing a little bit of some skips here. He's not really utilizing all the bars, just leaping.
Loving this.
That's not only going to conserve energy, but also going to conserve time.
Loving this so far from Timote.
He's made up that hindrance. 18.5 seconds ahead of the pace here by this point. A big Lachey out, though. Can he grab it? Going for it.
Yes! There we go! We're getting a breakthrough out here from Timote right here as we now move on to the ascending rings. Taking this trampoline. Going to be pulling back. Getting ready to go out here. Taking the skip upward. Timote coming through now. Moving along through our French competitor for the kids male division, coming through very well as he now takes the jump up to the Lachey lane. Timote is on a roll right now.
Yeah, doing absolutely great so far. And a quick Lachey here going throughout each of these. Those shelves are not easy to grab on, but here is ring tech. You gotta really fling your body back and forth, lift the ring off the cradle. That's no easy feat.
Yes!
Get it in there. And now unhooking it, just the same. Less than 50 seconds left. One obstacle remains for Timote. And just gotta
lock in here on the nunchuck climb, and easy stuff. Timote Virgo getting our first buzzer of our kids division. Lovely stuff. Not breaking a sweat. Rightfully done there. Absolutely brilliant. What a way to open the floodgates for the rest of our competitors at True Function.
He very easily could have gotten a perfect run there, but unfortunately it was just that second obstacle, the North Pole, where he had to take a retry. But other than that, absolutely perfect. He linked so many things. I love what he did on the last obstacle. Really only needed to lock one of them in to be able to throw his body up to the buzzer, and that was all he needed to be able to award himself all 10 points and land himself in first place. And I believe that is all 4 of them, actually, for the challenge course.
Yes, it is. Great stuff there. Timote getting first place, followed by Sebi and the rest of the team right there. Sebi, Alexander, and Arlo in that order. Absolutely brilliant stuff. As we now move into our lone kids female competitor, which is going to be Letty Godfrey coming through now.
Now, since there's only one competitor here, what matters here is not necessarily beating other competitors, since there are none. It's getting to a specific cutoff point, which for her will most likely be just clearing the third obstacle. So it will be the third obstacle floating on air, but gotta get to that point first. It's gonna have to get through the North Pole first, wedging herself in between each of these poles. So just gotta focus on being able to get through each of these, reaching out to the third pole. Able to get that right there. And now one pole is left until she's over to the truss. This one looks a little bit closer. Oh, but
she's slipping.
Gotta
keep that grip going through. Here she goes. She is a bit low, though, so she needs to get the feet up, but unfortunately slides down. That's one of the main issues of that obstacle. I remember I competed in 2023, and those poles really, really slippery. I took ages trying to get back onto them, but I did clear it. So we're going to be seeing if it's able to be done here. I think the key to this obstacle, speaking from experience, is just efficiency.
Yeah, I'm liking what she did on that transition between the first and second. She kind of wedged one foot on one. There we go, just like that. And that's able to keep that traction up there. And that way you're able to also ascend a little bit higher with each of those transitions. So that way, in the event you do slip off, you have more room to save yourself. Has one more of those big transitions left. Letty has to head over to that truss, trying to figure out the best way to handle it. Able to get over to that truss now. And now popping down. Gotta be able to get to that platform. Able to get there now. And now a minute and a half here for floating through air. Dismount.
Nice.
There we go. All right, we will be seeing Letty at Modus and just cannot get to that one, unfortunately. Being on the shorter size, very much a hindrance here on Through the Jungle.
Looks like she's gonna have to take the final of her two retries right here. Here she goes. Nearly has it. It's swaying now. Needs to try her best to grab onto it when it's coming back. Bit of trouble now. Can she get it? That time is ticking though. Yeah, grabs it.
She's got it. I think she's got it. Yes. All right.
All right. Now she can move along through. No, but sadly doesn't get enough of a kickoff. And sadly, that's going to go down. Letty Godfrey going through. Lovely stuff there. That was brilliant.
Yeah, she knew where the cutoff point was, and she was able to get all the way there. But unfortunately, similarly to her placement course performance, her height was a little bit of a hindrance. But still, able to advance onward to the Premier Series Finals. Absolutely stellar job there. And now it's time to turn over to our 9 remaining competitors, which are all going to be the mature kids. We got 5 mature kids female and then 4 mature kids male. So it's going to be fairly competitive.
Absolutely. We've seen the precedent of this course and how it's been set, but we now have 9 more athletes getting ready to go. We're going to toss to a short break quickly, though, so we can get a couple of course changes. Ooh, getting ready for our mature kids division out here for the 9 of them that are going to be competing out here. So from Jamie and Billy, we're going to be seeing you guys later. Just give us a second for us to get ready to go for the challenge course. We'll see you in a moment. Take care.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, CO and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on DGSninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab chalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, Rock Climber, and the CEO of Slab Chalks.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody, to Swindon in the United Kingdom for True Function Ninja Training Grounds World Ninja League Premier Series Qualifier. My name is Billy Dixon. I'm joined alongside Jamie Dayhuff today, and we're about to get started with our Mature Kids Challenge course.
Yeah, we just got done with our kids, male and females, which total up to 5 attempts on the 10 obstacle course, and we were able to see one clear. But now we have 9 competitors left, making up our last 2 divisions, getting ready to attempt the course. And I am very, very excited to see what's going to happen. You know, we just had a short break. That usually means that there are going to be some modifications. Might be because these competitors are going to be on the taller side. Might have to adjust some distances to make them a little bit more fair. But who really knows until we go out there and see all the obstacles. It's going to be a very, very exciting run for these final 9 competitors. But the action after this is still not done. We got one more. We still have one more group of competitors after our kids and mature kids is done at, I believe, 11. At 11
Possibly.
a.m. Eastern time.
Yes,
That
indeed.
is
So
going
we've
to
got
be
the
our
preteens then.
preteens. So that
It's
is
gonna
going
be
to be
brilliant.
our competitors who are 11 to 12 years old. So that is going to be that. And then tomorrow is going to actually be the beginning of the end for the qualifiers, unfortunately. You know, it seems just like yesterday we were in Australia kicking off with our division, but nope, we're in November now. And we are going to be starting off with an amateur at very, very early, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, not that early for our UK competitors, because imagine having to run that early. That would be absolutely diabolical. After that, it's going to be teens, and then elites will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, I think UK is 4 hours behind, Billy. Is that correct?
I want to say so, but daylight savings changed literally like last Sunday, so it's a bit skewed at the minute. Still
That
trying to
makes
get my
sense.
head around it.
Ow.
But yeah, still, that shows that this entire weekend is going to have a whole lot of events. The competitors are going to be running a similar course as to what we've seen so far, at least in this stream, with the placement course being most likely similar, or actually probably identical to the to the 7 obstacles they faced, and then they'll be facing the 10 obstacles of the challenge course. But that is not all the action we have, as in a few weeks we will actually be seeing some elite showdowns. So,
Indeed,
Season
we
10
will.
World champion is going to be the Season 10 World champion. Noam Munir will be facing up against the Season 2 Premier Series champion and the Season 9 Regular Season World champion Jackson Erdos. The battle of the champions here. They'll be going against each other on some form of a course to see who comes out on top. Will Noah be able to keep up his lead, or will Jackson be able to continue his recent winning streak with the Premier Series to get himself another accolade? That is the question. And then alongside that, we are going to be seeing some skilled women doing the same exact thing. However, instead of it just being 2 competitors, we are going to be seeing 3. Nora Brown-John, the Premier Series champion, and Addie Herman, the Regular Series champion, will be doing the same exact thing that we saw alongside Seda Banjodo, who's also another very strong competitor. So it's going to be a very, very interesting thing. You know, we usually are very used to seeing 2 competitors against each other, but having 3, that is a whole another element of stakes. And it will be, honestly, probably more interesting just because there's a whole lot more variables.
Absolutely, especially with the duality between Nora and Addy. I think it's criminal that Addy hasn't got a win in the Premier Series as of recent. I think she can come along through. Even at Ascend, one of our last qualifiers, she didn't get one of the top 3 places, I want to say. She came through, did very well, but got out at the middle of the challenge course at Ascend a couple of months ago. So we're going to be seeing if Addy can make a comeback. We're also going to be seeing if Nora Brown-John can come along through and just keep up the precedent in the Premier Series as she usually does. She got first at Life Force this a couple weeks ago as well. So she's going to be coming along through, getting ready to go for that. And I'm excited to see how it's all going to play out for everyone out here. I am super hyped, particularly for the males and the females that are going to be running through here. The elite female champion for 2023 was Abby Clark, followed by Nora Brown-John. It could be Addie Herman. It would be quite poetic, considering the fact that she is our reigning world champion currently. So we're going to be seeing if things work out in everyone's favor.
That is the question we are asking, but now it's time to focus on the present. So, with these 10 obstacles, we have been seeing a lot of competitors struggle with what they are. A lot of them are very, very grip heavy. If you did not see what it was, the first 3 obstacles are very, very lower body centric, but after that point, the final 7 are very, very upper body orientated and also very, very focused on ropes, which is something that we have not really seen out of a lot of Premier Series qualifiers actually. And having that unique element is something that a few competitors so far have been struggling on, but I think with these players seeing now a few more other competitors run, it's definitely been able to lessen those nerves.
Absolutely. They've seen what is capable to be done out of these guys, and they also know how to do them. They've been training a lot, so hopefully everything can happen in their favor. They've been training hard. Just put the correct mindset to use for these mature kids getting ready to go out here. We're going to be starting out with Maya Lewis coming along through now in just a moment, getting ready to go.
She will face the same exact obstacles.
Right, here we go. Maya Lewis going to be starting out the mature kids division out here on the female side of things, coming out of Oxfordshire in Swindon out here, getting ready to move on through.
On to the North Pole.
Moving
now
along
looks like she's
carefully but
wedging
steadily.
herself in between.
Loving this so far. 2 minutes and a half as she's moving along through the North Pole, just sliding down it, which is cool. Going along over to the platform, and she clears it. Lovely stuff. Now coming into the shuriken flip area now. Absolutely brilliant. Now then, the through the jungle obstacle is going to be next up, swinging along through here. These holds, not a problem for Maya so far, doing very well.
Yeah, doing very, very good. Perfect up until this point. Just has the dismount left. It's going to be a rope swing. Has to be able to get enough swing to be able to get the gap over there to that trampoline. We've not seen a competitor miss it yet, but we have seen one competitor take a few swings, and that was a little sketchy. So, has to be able to get over there. Able to get to the... Oh! Did I speak too soon? Nope, she is good, thankfully. It looks like
good
she almost
save.
fell back. And now over to the bars. This is the obstacle that we've seen a lot of competitors save a lot of time on, specifically our sole clear so far with Timote. He was able to just lachey easily through each of these. But it looks like we're going to be seeing a more cautious approach here out of Maya Lewis, going hand over hand, which, yes, takes out a little bit less energy, but it's also the safer approach. You don't want to accidentally miss a lachey and have to use a retry on an obstacle that you very easily just could have gotten through if you went slow and steady. And now over to the rodeo. This is an obstacle that has been turning heads for a lot of competitors. It's not necessarily been this big jump here out to that bar.
Yes.
It's actually been this giant lachey out to this rope right here. It is far away and it is fully vertical. Meaning that competitors really gotta dig deep to be able to hang on. Does not.
Unfortunately, can't. It looks like Maya Lewis gonna have to take the first of her 2 retries out here on the rodeo out here. Gonna start up from the big rope swing again, and hopefully she can move on through and get it a second time around. Gotta get to this bar a second time first off here. See how she can fare. Takes the swing over. Gets a good grab. Now she needs to take a diagonal swing to then reach out to these ropes here. A lot of grip needed here. Can Maya endure it? She goes for it, but unfortunately can't get the grip, sadly. That's going to be it for Maya Lewis, unfortunately. But still, brilliant run.
Yeah, that was absolutely great. The first of 5 mature kids to go, and she absolutely set the record. She has no idea where the cutoff point is going to be to advance. So she set the record. So she set the record to see how far she was able to get, and hopefully that's going to be enough for her to be able to advance. She was able to get over halfway through the course, which was absolutely stellar. But now it's time to look over to our final 4 mature kids females who will be attempting the course, hoping to be able to get a good enough score to advance. And now, actually, after Luca Maria, I think there's a good chance we can start seeing competitors like mathematically locking themselves into the Premier Series.
Possibly, yeah. It's a good opportunity for these guys to do it. Now we have Luca Maria Dan coming along through out of Gloucestershire. 2 minutes 50 now. Gonna see how she can fare out here on the North Pole right now. We're gonna see here. Moving along. Doing okay so far. Taking good reaches out when needed, and then locking in the feet for that extra security to turn around. Going at an okay pace too. Luca Maria now coming through. Gonna take a step down. Brilliant stuff right there. Getting it. And now she moves on through over to floating on air.
A little wonky there, but able to get through. Looks a little unsteady, but after this point, no balance is needed, thankfully. She's just able to hang with those arms and see how long... Unable to get through that banana. So, having to use a reach right here. If you were not here earlier, basically, competitors are allowed to use 1 retry per obstacle. So, if she is able to get through this obstacle, she is able to keep moving. But if she fails the second time...
No, unfortunately! Unfortunately, slipping out. Still, brilliant stuff there out of Luca Maria. Great stuff on the steps and the poles, as well as the shurikens earlier as well. But just couldn't hang on to those holds, sadly. They are quite difficult, to be fair, especially if you're quite low and hanging. A lot of grip needed for it, so not particularly the easiest thing to get through off a whim right there. Now then, we have someone with Premier Series experience. It's going to be Georgina Goron coming along through now, getting ready to go.
We're going to see what she is able to do. This 10 obstacle gauntlet is anything but easy. She will need to absolutely blaze her way through this course to be able to get through, because we want to see a buzzer. I want to see one of these competitors be able to beat this course. Georgina very well can be that first. Onto the steps, utilizing her hands. It's a safe move, doesn't want to accidentally slip off. And, you know, having that cautious approach early on, that's good to accidentally, so that way you don't accidentally have to afford a retry, similar to what Timote had to do when it came to this dismount. Actually, ever since Timote went down on this dismount and had to use one of his retries, we are seeing a lot more competitors being cautious on that dismount, making sure that they really properly land those 2 feet onto there. And now onto floating on air. Going a little
brilliant
sideways, but going through still.
Love it right here. We can see Georgina taking the swings needed. Yes, brilliant stuff. Brachiating through, as Dion would say. Out here, getting ready to go. Brilliant stuff. Nice trust in the one-handed swing as well. Georgina, been in the ninja game for quite a while. Has been training for a bit out here at True Function. Competed in a lot of competitions here too. As she swings on down. Lovely.
Doing absolutely spectacular so far. 2 minutes left on the clock here. On to Lachey's, and opting to go to the backside. That's something that we actually haven't seen out of a competitor so far. So it's a new technique, but it's working out for her as she's nearing the end of the obstacle and now heading over to Rodeo. So getting both feet there onto that bar, and now has to set sail and try and land onto that stationary bar. Going for it, reaching out, able to keep going through. And now here
lovely stuff.
Position. That's been a problem.
Oh, unfortunately, isn't able to get the grab on those ropes right there. So it looks like Georgina's going to take her second attempt right here. She's got to clear it in order to carry on through this course now. 1:20. She takes the massive swing over. Georgina has proven that she has the grip necessary to take it on. Needs a lot of height and moving on. Oh, yes! even then, with the slip down,
No!
Georgina's still moving on through. Brilliant stuff. She's traversing through this rope junction and gets it and is now on to the ascending rings.
This has been absolutely amazing. Her ability to dig deep is absolutely stellar so far. Nearing the end of the 7th obstacle. All right, able to get there, but 45 seconds are left. She's gonna need to be able to go faster if she wants to be able to clear it. You can see that in her face. Very, very urgent. 38 seconds left. Got a big jump down to this propeller for Lachey Lane. Able to get it there. And now has to get some giant kicks out. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. A big transit out.
Ooh! Unfortunately, isn't able to get that Lachey. She's done really, really well so far. A 2-obstacle lead ahead of everyone else right now. Setting the precedent for the next 2 mature kid females as well. As we are now going to see how Georgina is going to move on through here. Has a lot of power coming into this propeller, but couldn't get the grab onto the next bar. But sadly, that's going to be it for her. As she is now going to put herself on the leaderboard and get ready to go.
Yeah, that was absolutely stellar. She's mathematically guaranteed herself a spot in the finals, so that was absolutely great. And I loved what she did here on Rodeo. I have no idea how she
That was brilliant.
That is absolutely insane. And I hope her hands are okay, because rope burns like that probably hurt.
It absolutely does. Yeah, especially on quite a flimsy rope like that as well. It definitely plays to your hands. It digs in a lot. So we're going to see here if the Philby, who is going to be next up, is going to see how things go here. So Farringdon, Oxfordshire is where she's from. Why am I saying it like that? It's Oxfordshire. I'm British. I shouldn't be faking these names.
Yeah, I am not the one who will be able to pronounce these. I am not a native Brit. So you're the one who's telling me how to pronounce these, essentially, with your...
So it's Oxfordshire.
All right.
Here we go now. The Philby Price is going to be coming along through now. Very high up on those poles already, which is good to see.
Yeah, this is a very, very safe approach. We've seen competitors slide down to the bottom. Looks like she's now utilizing that approach, but able to keep moving through. And now... Oh!
She needs to go to the dismount platform. It was a very good skip, but unfortunately it's not part of the rule set out here, so she's going to have to go back and dismount on the correct platform this time.
And that's going to just eat up her time here. There's not a lot of time to get from the start to the end. So from this point on, she's really going to need to be perfect. She obviously still has one more retry left in the tank, but I don't know if time's going to allow it. On to floating on air. Able to get through, though. And now over to the jungle. We've seen competitors lose their grip here. Has to be able to get a solid handhold on it. Able to get it there. Ooh, and now might be actually trying to skip the first monkey hold by going back to the platform. Opted not to do that, but now onto the second monkey hold and the second banana. Able to do great so far. And now just one last transition to the chest. Misses it.
Bit of a miss there, but still redeems herself. Brilliant stuff. Lovely jubbly right there. Thought for Thea right there. But now time is ticking right here. She is a bit behind the rest of these competitors, so she's really going to have to try and pick up the pace now coming into these later obstacles. She takes a bit of a moment to sort herself out for that dismount.
Oh,
good save.
All right, now she is over to the Lacheys. Not been going the fastest. This is a really good place to be able to save some of that time going for Lacheys. But it looks like she's just going hand over hand. But she's doing it very quickly so far. Look at the pace that she is going at, just continuously going bar to bar. And now heading over to where that rope is at the start of Rodeo. Less than a minute left, though, for 6 obstacles. So, gonna need to make sure that she keeps moving here as she's onto the rope. Going down,
good
the bar,
reach
though.
out there for Thea.
Here is the challenge point. Can she get it? Gotta swing that swing a little bit more to the side.
Ooh, but just kind of tips it away with her fingertips. So now Thea out of retry. She's going to have to move on through this rope obstacle without any falls if she wants to move on through the rest of this course. She has 35 seconds.
Able to get back there. And now she needs to start moving that swing from the right to the left. There we go. Able to fix that swing there. Now it's the big straight.
No!
Oh!
Unfortunately, that's going to be it. Slid down on one of her hands, and that's going to put Fee on the board right there. Still, brilliant run. Very cautious, though. I would have liked to see a bit more speed, personally, through these obstacles, but still clearing them, an amazing achievement nonetheless. Absolutely brilliant stuff right there from Thea right there. Absolutely brilliant. As we now move on to our final mature kid female runner, is going to be French representative Alison Girardeau. She has competed a lot at True Function, and we know what is expected of her. She made it to the final obstacle of the placement course, that boot scoop, until the end right there, where she unfortunately fell. But now she knows what to expect out of this challenge course. Let's see if she can do it.
It's either going to be her or Luca Maria, who is on the bubble, advancing to Modus. So she knows where the cutoff point is. Got to be able to get through the fourth obstacle, or at least get there in a faster time than Luca Maria. So going through the pole grasper, North Pole actually, and popping down to the pad, and now over to floating on air. Wants to in the middle of those shurikens, able to do that there, and that lands her in the top four. Unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to Luca Maria, Dan, for the Premier Series, but it was still a great run, and now it's up to Alison to see how high she can fly. Going one-handed throughout this entire fourth obstacle, and now over to the rope. Dropping
Here
down,
she goes.
and has to take a backswing. Can't
Very
get
good
it.
control,
There's-
trying
oh,
to
no,
reel
can get it
herself
again.
in. She's in a bit of
Once
no
in a
man's
row,
land
can
at
she
the
get
minute,
it?
but
Oh, she
still
got it.
dismounts on the side. Lovely stuff. Right,
Over
okay, let's
to
see how well she
Lachey's.
can fare here. The rest of these moves. Nice stuff. You can see she's been practicing the way she traverses across these bars. I think she knows she might not have enough power at her age to Lachey bigger distances like that. So she's just moving along through the best she can. And it's working extremely well for her.
Here we go.
And she gets
Oh,
the
she
grab on
got
the
it!
rope. Lovely.
Oh, and one-handed on the succeeding ones. Seems very confident when it comes to grip strength onto these ascending rings. Over a minute left, actually half the time limit left for these final four obstacles. Has more than enough time in the tank, and obviously more than enough energy in the tank to be able to go through each of those with one hand. That is no joke, especially after 6 previous obstacles, but now onto Lachey Lane. This is what no competitor in her division has been able to get through. Is in first, so Georgina is in second, but she was still not able to get through this obstacle, so we're going to get a giant Lachey here to be able to get that. That's the one that Georgina went down on. Can she get it? Lands that. Okay.
Yes.
Now it's a
Lovely
shelf.
stuff
It's a
right there,
big-
Alison.
It's a wide
Yes!
grab.
Gets a hand on those
Gets that.
shelves. Lovely stuff as she now comes into the skyhooks. We had Timothée, our other French representative, come on through here and clear the skyhooks. So let's see if Alison can keep on that trend and keep up the strength and tech needed.
Get it? Oh!
Almost had it. Just couldn't hook it in there. Let go of it with one of her hands, which ultimately led it off path. So now Alison's going to have to give it a second try now.
I'm liking the fact that when she's swinging back and forth, look at the mixed grip she has. But to be able to successfully cross that gap, she's got to throw those
No,
hips up.
unfortunately, couldn't get enough swing there. But still, Alison did an incredibly good job. Very, very confident in those moves.
Yeah, up until that point, she was perfect, literally perfect. Used absolutely no retries, and that perfect run actually lands her in first place for her division. So, it was such a strong movement there, being able to best the jump that we have not seen a single competitor in her division get through, and that closes out our mature females. Alison, Georgina, Maya, Anthea, those are the 4 who will be advancing to the finals in Modus. So, their road in the Premier Series is not over. It's going to be a very, very exciting journey for them as they travel to the U.S. later this month. But still, we got one more wave left. We got the mature kids male. We got 4 of them left. And similarly
Here
to
we
what we
go.
saw out of our kids, is they all have to get to a specific point on the course to be able to advance. So, Paul, Gabriel, Rafi, and Rory, all of them have to at least complete the 3rd obstacle to get themselves over to the course. It is not really competitors versus each other. It's more competitors versus the course this time.
Absolutely. But now we're going to be seeing the first of our mature kid males on the course. Paul Williams with a smile on his face. He loves a good ninja course like this for the WNL. We can see Paul getting ready to go out here. He's doing very good so far, taking on these poles. A nice skip of that first one. You can see Paul moving through with a large bit of urgency. I think he knows that this time limit can be quite strict if you don't move through the course quickly. So he's moving through at a very good pace.
Yeah, he is moving so fast so far. We have seen in Premier Series in the past that time limits have been a little bit of a silent killer, with competitors taking too long to rest or taking on the retries too long to properly analyze everything. So having this urgency out of Paul Williams, I am loving what I'm seeing so far, but this dismount cannot be overlooked, and he kicks off that and perfectly done.
Oh, yes, lovely stuff there from Paul. Brilliant. Okay, just over 2 minutes now. He's making pretty good time. He's got half of the course left to go, and he's used up a minute of his time. Oh my gosh, he's going for the Lachey. Way! Love that! Paul Williams pulling out all the stops. I was waiting for that beta break, saving an immense amount of time amongst his peers. So now we can see if this momentum can carry on. Paul is loving this right now, I can tell you.
He most definitely is comfortable up in the air. This jump right here should be a little bit...
Just whiffs it a tiny bit. Couldn't get the correct hand placement, it looks like. So Paul gonna take his first retry and try again. He surely has this in the bag now.
Yeah, he knows how those ropes behave. So as long as he's at least able to get to that bar, he will have a chance to get his revenge here. So that long rope is all that's separating him. Gonna need to get a big jump back. He goes for it and reaching out towards it. And now throwing his body towards it. Can he get it?
No! Oh, so close. He just peeled out there, sadly. Couldn't get enough grip to stop himself from falling. But still, Paul Williams, that's one of the best runs I've seen from a Swindon competition ever.
Yeah, that was absolutely stellar. I thought for sure that he was going to be able to get through rodeo, because up until that point, he was so incredibly clean. That dismount on the jungle was absolutely spectacular. The Lachey was amazing to see someone be able to do that. That saved so much time for him, and I think we might be able to see some of these final three competitors replicate that success.
Precisely so. We've got Gabriel, Rafi, and Rory, with Gabriel going first, a member of Team True Function. You can see his right hand is a bit screwed up right there. You can see it has a bit of tape on it. Hopefully, it doesn't hinder himself too much out here. So we're going to be seeing if Gabriel is going to be able to move on through this course with a good pace, which he's doing so far.
Yeah, he's doing good now. Just has over to the truss. He's not even using the truss whatsoever, just using the padding. That's the first that we've seen so far out of that this weekend. And now going through each of those shuriken boards, able to do that just the same. And over to the jungle. Hand over hand as he's going through each of these two holds. These two varieties of holds that make up 4 holds total. And over to another. He's opting to grab most of the padding again. Not the truss. And over to this rope.
Here we go now, traversing around it to try and get a good head-on approach, it looks like. 2 minutes as he takes the dismount there, saves himself. No, gonna go back and take a separate swing now to try and reel himself in. He's in a bit of no man's land currently, but Gabriel trying his best. He's just stuck in the middle there, needs to push off and gets it this time. Yes, he does.
Able to keep moving through and over to the bars. We just saw a crazy Lachey out here. Gabriel in a little bit of a time crunch, so might want to focus on just being able to save some time, but it looks like going for a more cautious approach there. I think for a second there, he was thinking about it because you can see him attempting to try and set up a Lachey, but then opted to go to that other side. And now making his way through over to rodeo. What does he have left in the take? Just over a minute 10 left on the clock. It's very possible for him to get through, but he's got to get to that bar first.
Not enough height there from Gabriel to get onto that little wedge. So now he's going to try his best to go up these bars again and give it a second try. 1 minute 5 seconds. He knows how to deal with this now. Just needs to get a little bit higher this time. Gets it! Great stuff, but now only
There we
has
go.
one shot at the rope to Lachey here. Maybe a bit more of a straight approach, and he nearly had it, but just peeled out. Sadly, Gabriel is down.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's another victim to that brutal rodeo. That rope, that jump to the rope is absolutely massive, but up until that point, he was fighting to stay in. It was an absolutely great run and was able to get to that bar on attempt number 2, but unfortunately just could not bring it home for the rest of the obstacle. We got 2 competitors left for the division. Both the previous 2 have been able to make it past the 3rd obstacle threshold to advance. Raffi wants to be able to make it 3.
Precisely so. We're going to see Raffi on the start line right now, coming out of Cirencester, Gloucestershire, as he's on the start line, off and ready to run this True Function Challenge course. Making a good start currently, repping some Zantes on the course right now. 2 minutes and 50 seconds as he reaches out to get ready to go on these poles.
And he's going really high up here. That way he doesn't slip off and now grab
Ooh, a bit of a slip,
but slide down.
but he's okay. Lovely.
And that is the benefit of going high up on those slippery poles. But has
Yes.
to retry there.
Oh, no, unfortunately couldn't get the dismount, it looked like. So now Raffi gonna have to take a second attempt here. Fully focus. Get ready to go. You can slip from these if you're not careful. Get your weight in order. Yes. No, what?
Whoa!
What happened there? I think he might
I have
have
no
gone
idea what
past
happened.
that.
I have
That's
absolutely
unfortunate.
no clue what just happened on that.
Wait, I
wish we
think
could
it might have been a
replay.
Ninja Works issue. I think he looks like he's going back to the start line, so I think a rerun
Okay.
might be in order right here.
All right. That is good because honestly, I did not see anything that was out of the ordinary there on that run. Hopefully he will be able to best it. He already knows what to expect on this course. But I think that might have spiked his nerves a little bit. Yep, he is going
Right.
to be getting a rerun now due to a tech issue. So thankfully, that will not be the last time we see Raffi. He might be running immediately after, or he might be running after Rory. Not too sure at the moment. Oh, looks like he will be running after Rory. Rory will be kicking off his run, it looks like, on the starting platform. His 3-minute attack on the course. Smiling, getting the thumbs up. What will he be able to do here on this course? 10 brutal obstacles up in front of him to face. Still, we are only at 1 clear. These 10 obstacles are
Gonna take
so
some
incredibly
chalk.
brutal.
Indeed it is. It's very, very difficult to try and get a grasp on how difficult these things are, but he gets some chalk from Coach Luke and is able to get his run going here. Just making sure he's all ready to go now.
Really won't need that chalk until the second obstacle. Just gotta get through these steps. Steps been a non-entity for this entire season. Kind of just there to be able to race yourself through into the next obstacle. But this actually, I think this is the first weekend in a while where we haven't had a Sonic curve. Which I've just picked up on, because almost every qualifier that we've seen so far in Premier Series has had a Sonic curve. This one just has the steps, but Raffi looking like he is ready to get onto the course. For that retry.
Here we
Stepping
go.
onto there.
Raffi coming along through. He's moving along now. He knows what it feels like. So now he just needs to do what he did again, but then advance further. Shouldn't be that hard in retrospect. So let's see if he can move it.
All right, he's back to where he was. Stepping on those boards. And he's pre-tilting them. That's a smart move there, so that way he's able to anticipate what to expect there and get some of that additional traction that he would have not particularly had. And he's already bested where he was. Oh! And he's peeled off to
Ooh.
that second monkey head. So, good have to use
Unfortunate.
a retry here. Okay.
Here we see him, Raffi, gonna try his best a second time now to pull back. He's got no!
Oh!
Looks like he just
Raffi!
fell there. It looked like, unfortunately, I think the fact that he might have had to run that course twice really didn't work out for him there. He might have gotten a bit taxed.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That obstacle it's one of those where it is so brutal to grab onto those holds. Even though those holds have existed for probably longer than I've been alive, they are still incredibly hard to be able to say you're 100% perfect on.
Absolutely, it takes a lot of drills to get in there. It's quite a weird one, to say the least. But regardless, we have one more competitor left for the Mature Kids division. It is going to be Rory Staton that rounds out everything. We've got Paul in the lead currently. We're going to be seeing if Rory can take home the desired first here.
All three of the previous competitors have been able to advance themselves over to Modus. Rory wants to be able to get a 400% rate here, but 3 obstacles are preventing him from getting to that point. Now it is just 2 as he's on to the North Pole. Gotta get the soles of those feet onto there. And there we go, pinching each of those, but his feet are down at that lower red section. That's a little risky in the event you slip off, but he's able to get through there, no problem. I take that back. Almost tripped off the back, but oh!
Ooh, a bit of a stumble there from Rory. Gonna have to take it a second time out here.
You're in a little bit of a nervous situation.
Yeah, gotta lock in, mentally prepare yourself so you get ready to do this again successfully.
These boards, he has to be able to get through these or else he will not be advancing. So, Rory just has to keep persevering. He's pre-tilting into those boards, able to get through.
Yes!
Rory Staton gets himself onto there, and now over to the jungle. Able to hang on to each of those. Grip clearly a lot stronger than that balance. Not even use a retry on it. And now it's just the dismount left. We've seen a few close calls, so gotta be able to get a proper dismount.
Yo, no!
Oh, no! Okay.
Not the best start from Rory here, I must say. Gonna have to give it another try from the beginning of Through the Jungle. Not a fun prospect. So, let's see how we can fare. Let's countdown going again. 2 minutes now, as Rory Staton really got to mentally prepare himself for the task up ahead. 1:55. He's trying his best to move along through now around the truss, so he can prepare himself for a bigger swing to come down on this trampoline there as the dismount platform.
Going for it.
He gets it. Lovely. But now he's out of retries. He cannot take a single fall on the rest of this course if he wants to get that buzzer.
Yeah, he has to be perfect up for the rest of this course. 6 obstacles remain for him. So, going slowly and steadily through this obstacle. I know if you didn't have any retries, you'd be a little nervous here. So, at least trying to go hand over hand here. That's very important just to stay alive.
Here we go. 1:10. He has used up quite a bit of time due to those retries he had to take earlier. But he is still going to try his best. He's made it to the ropes now. He's made it to the rodeo. So let's see how he can fare. He's got to make this in one try.
Go for it.
Take a large bit of swing there. Good. As he now tries to set himself up for this rope.
Oh!
Unfortunately, couldn't get enough of a swing there to properly grip on. That's going to put Rory Staton in 3rd place there. You can see he's a bit out of breath from all the retries they had to take. But I commend the resilience out of Rory that we've just seen. Absolutely amazing.
1,000,000%. He fought for every second he was on that course. He really took those retries that he was given and utilized them to his best advantage. And that means that he was able to get himself past 3rd obstacle threshold and advance himself to Modus. So, all 4 Mature Kids males are going to be going through to Modus. That is great to see whenever we have a 100% success rate.
Brilliant stuff all around. I love to see that the Swindon competition atmosphere is back in action. Once it gets going, it's absolutely brilliant to see. But yeah, lovely stuff. Congratulations to Paul Williams in 1st place. Well done to Gabriel, Rory, and as well as Rafi as well in 4th, I believe it was. Yes, lovely stuff there. Well done to everyone who qualified. We have more action to go. We've got the preteen division coming next at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is going to be in a couple of hours, I want to say. So yeah, we'll be back with you in a couple hours for these guys to get ready to go. Jamie, what are your final thoughts coming into the next division?
I think it's going to be more of the same. These obstacles have been very, very fun to watch alongside being very, very brutal. So if our competitors are able to learn anything from this, they got to make sure that they are able to make sure that their swings are directed in whatever direction they're going. That's something that has taxed a lot of competitors so far, and I think if our competitors are able to learn from that, they are going to be able to excel.
Absolutely. It was really, really good to see everyone back in action. But yeah, lovely stuff from all you guys. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. We got the preteens coming up next in just a minute. So we'll see you guys later. From Billy Dixon and Jamie Day, hopefully we'll see you guys in a bit. Stay tuned.
Peace out.